Alright, so here's our next project. We're going to go ahead and take apart all this console. We're going to take off all the teak. Alright, this teak is pretty bare. You can see, okay, it's been many years since that's been done. Alright folks, we've been taking off this teak, some of this trim. So there we go, this trim here, no big deal. However, we got to take off these things. Just heads up when you do this stuff. So we got these wires back here. Got to go ahead and take this off. We've got to disconnect all three of these wires here, making sure we put them back on the right spots. I've looked, it doesn't indicate colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this tape and just make some labels. Here we are. I've taken off a lot of the teak off the console, the fire extinguisher trim. We got this door off. I did take a couple of the panels off with the gauges. The steering wheel here, I'm going to have to get a wheel puller so I can get this piece off. I've got this one loose. I'm going to have to disconnect some cables. Here, I do have a crack. I think I want to get this off and fix that. I've got the seat here now. I'm going to take this apart. Alright folks, here we go. Here's our teak. As you can see, pretty dirty. It hasn't been done in a long time, years. But I'm going to show you how this stuff works. You know, we've got the Snappy Teak New. This is formula number 1 and formula number 2. This is pretty simple stuff to use. However, you want to wear gloves. Just get the wood wet. Okay. You take the number 1. You have to use a brush with number 1, a different brush with number 2. Do not combine the brushes. I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to do one at a time here. I'm going to put this number 1 on here. Alright? We're just going to do that. We're going to take this brush and just smooth it out. Spread it out. Get an even cover on the whole thing. Alright? It's really simple. Just get it wet. Take this number 1. Put it all over there. Okay, you let it sit a couple minutes. No more. You don't even have to go that long. And this is a powerful detergent that brings everything out of the grain of the teak. I don't know if you can see this, but it's literally building up here. And you give it a little scrub. It says you don't have to scrub it very hard. I usually overdo it a little bit with the scrubbing because I don't want to do it a second time. Now, I see that there's a little, it's not really uniform in color, so just to save me some time, I'm going to hit this again, let it sit another minute, make sure I got the ends good, give this a quick rinse. This does penetrate the wood pretty well, so you will see after you rinse it, and this, you continually get suds. See that? Watch, I'll go do the other side here. Bring it back, there's usually some suds. I'm not going to worry about that. Just going to get these holes cleared out. Now, number 2 is going to go on there. I have a separate brush. And number 2 is a clear liquid. Just go ahead and put it on there. Oops, put it on there and quickly even it out. I'm going to hit the back side too. I don't know if you can see the change already. This is now bleaching the wood. I usually let this sit a minute, and then you can scrub a little harder with this if you want. And this is going to even everything out. So if you see any dark spots, you can maybe hit them a little bit. Once again, just go ahead and give it a rinse. And then set it aside, and it will dry. When this dries, it will look nothing like this. It's going to turn totally white. Alright, here's some boards I washed already. When you wash them, you're going to end up with this auburn color. It's kind of, I don't know, reddish color. And they were all this color just 15 minutes ago. But as they dry out, they will turn totally blonde. And you can see the edges on these two smaller ones, how they started to turn blonde. All right, folks, that looks pretty good. Very blonde. We've got a little, dark in this one here, but that's character. I'm just going to leave it. I could try to re-hit it, maybe I will. I mean, this crack right here, see that? I've left some varnish or whatever that is. So this particular one I'm going to hit again. All right. This one here has a little bit of darkness here, but I really think it's insignificant. It is going to darken up when I do put the Dexolay on it. But I am going to go ahead and hit this one again. Okay, everyone. Yep, teak's all clean, ready to go. We're going to go ahead and start putting some coatings on it. All right, except, I've been checking all the pieces, just make sure everything's done properly. These hatches, I noticed, and this happens with the ends of the woods, but I don't know if you can see this, but see how golden it is, even up front here? On the edges, the ends of the teak planks here, it's kind of dark. I did a little sanding there, you can see, but it's kind of dark. See the top's half? All right, so I went ahead, instead of trying to wash this thing, I scrubbed both ends really well. And this one here, so what I did was, hopefully we had a good focus on that, but what I did, give me a second here, I'm going to try to get a better shot. Apologize. All right, so what I did, I sanded this, all right? Now, can you see these grains? They're totally exposed now. It looks kind of cool, all right? But there is a darkness to this side, okay? And I'm not sure I can get rid of it. But anyway, sanding it does bring out some character, even though it's a little darker on these edges. It's a hatch cover that sits down anyway, and you're only going to see it when it's opened. But this particular side, you can see, hopefully you can, let me spin it around to get the same light. Now this side I have not sanded yet, just partially. So you'll see these grains will all open up. Just a heads up, after you clean this stuff, you might have to do a little touch up here and there.